Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. Today's matchup features one of the more dangerous pass rushes. The Cardinals are top 10 in total sacks, and they'll be up against a Seahawks team that will need to deal with that all game. With that, let's get out to the University of Phoenix Stadium in Glendale. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to the Valley of the Sun at University of Phoenix Stadium here in Glendale. Tonight, we've got a great Sunday night matchup between the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone, and he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Defense showing blitz. They come up in an offset eye. They go play action here on first down. And this one complete to Jermaine Gresham. And he's brought down after a good gain. Give him 30 yards there. Fresh set of downs here.
Now that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Have you talked with your friends who are in the fantasy leagues? I keep hearing David Johnson's name is coming up in a big way.
Boy, he was a steal third-rounder out of Northern Iowa, and I think last year started as a fourth-string back, didn't he?
He certainly did, but boy, he produces the year one honor. Remember, he can run it, he can catch it. He was a wide receiver in Northern Iowa before he became a running back, and also has great kick return ability. Ran one back for a touchdown in 2015.
Throwing now, Palmer on first down. It's complete to Brown, right side. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 12 yards on the pickup, and the Cards are going to have a first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
Well, 1-2 combination looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Red zone opportunity. They go to Johnson again. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. The tackle was made by Michael Bennett.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Palmer will throw. And he's got Fitzgerald. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets him up now 1st and goal.
Well, there's the first time in this game that Carson Palmer finds Larry Fitzgerald. Likely won't be the last, but how about the way these two have helped each other's careers?
Yeah, they really have. It's hard to believe with Fitzgerald, well, really both of these guys, how long they've been in the league now. But Fitzgerald, gosh, 3rd overall pick back in 2004.
Yeah, how about that? Remember, Carson Palmer, a former Heisman Trophy winner, he's finally found a real home in Arizona.
And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field, and when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Here we go. Blue, Sally 19. Sally 19. Mirror, mirror, mirror. Regular, regular. Sally 19. Sally 19. Mirror, mirror, mirror.
On 2nd down, Palmer. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. And a look at Seattle's defense.
Earl Thomas is the rangiest free safety in the game. Great reactions, great understanding, and boy, will he strike you when the ball's in his area.
Let's go.
On 3rd and goal, Palmer. That's complete right around the 8. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And the Cardinals have the first points. It's 3-0. And the first 3 points of the night belong to our home team as they get the field goal on the game's initial drive.
A good, solid drive. It didn't wind up in the end zone, but that's okay. You've got something positive on the board, and you got the early lead.
The wide receiver moving to a new spot. Wilson to the fullback, to Karafu. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. The first carry for the rookie Procise. Trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. An extra DB added here for the Cards on 3rd.
Blitzer play coverage.
And he goes in motion here in the backfield. The play clock's running down. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. Complete. Richardson has it. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Good use of the pass there to pick up the first down against a defensive look that they had specifically prepared for, they told us, coming into this one.
Certainly seems like they're holding all the right cards now, doesn't it? Because of their preparation. Went back, watched the tape, studied the tendencies, and they feel like they had them down cold, and they were able to use the pass against them.
On to stop that time, Frosty Rucker.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Another run, but this time it's Rawls. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs. So it'll be first down here after the run.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
Back to the ground on first. Again, it's Rawls. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
A 1-yard gain can look like a disaster, but it all depends on how the game is going. Is it a series of 1-yard gains running the ball? If that's the case, you might have to start thinking about throwing it a little bit more. But if it's just the occasional 1-yard run, hey, congratulations to the defense. They won that one. Come back and get them the next time.
A 2nd down carry for Procise. And he is going to lose yardage here. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. They tried to run the counter, just that the defense wasn't fooled.
And when they're not fooled, do you see the end?
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. And the wideout in motion. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. They go play action now. Wilson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. So on fourth down, on comes Stephen Hauschka to try and get the Seahawks 3. This from 54 yards away. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the three-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
Ten yards still left on second down. One receiver right, that's Brown. Second and 10, it's Palmer again. And Gresham has it left side. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. And give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You get better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination. Guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes. Good, strong, explosive run that started inside, which means you've got to control those defensive linemen, the defensive tackles, the nose guards. Those guys have to be controlled. How about the offensive line, the job they just did?
Yeah, key that A-gap usually on those runs, right?
That's where it all starts because everyone wants to kind of control that area. It disrupts things from the defensive side and the offensive side. As we just saw, it opens up possibilities.
And some extras coming up on the line here, readying for the blitz. It's a 5-receiver set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Here's Palmer, and they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. The tight end, Jermaine Gresham, the intended receiver. And now it's third down.
I can feel a joke coming there with that dropped interception. I know it's coming, but let's go ahead and focus on the quarterback first. That simply was a throw he shouldn't have made. He just did not look right on that play.
A throw he shouldn't have made, but to where you were going, that should have been an interception.
And you know what they say about defensive guys, right? They're offensive guys who can't catch.
They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up fourth down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 1st and 10 inside their own 20-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Precise on the toss. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
It looks like a pickup of 6. That leaves them with 7 yards to go on 3rd down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
The intended target, Doug Baldwin, and that brings up 4th down. So on now is the 11-year man, John Ryan, to punt it away. The Pro Bowler, Patrick Peterson, back deep for Arizona. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time out, they had to punt the football away. Anything positive possibly to take from that?
There always is when you're punting the football away. It doesn't sound like it because you're giving it up, but you've avoided a mistake.
At least you didn't turn it over,
You didn't turn it over, right? You're giving your defense a chance because you're punting the ball away, and they're set to...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Brock Coyle. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one's maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
He's going to launch this thing way down. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. A big-time play there by the Cardinals. 42 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there. How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice game. I remember growing up playing basketball. My coaches always talked about communicating on defense, making sure you talk on defense, know where your screens are, know where the cuts are coming from, who has who. Well, guess what? It's the same thing in football. Even though there's more noise out there, you can hear all the screams of screen, screen. This defense, the bench, everyone let them know what the play was, and that's why they were able to react and knock the ball away.
They come out here in the eye. On 2nd down, Johnson, and he'll get down to about the 26-yard line. That one good for 10 yards, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it, and boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup, and guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
It goes as a gain of 6, and it's a 1st down.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Brown, the lone receiver, left. Now Palmer on 1st down. Screen play, Johnson. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. A solid pickup at 13 sets them up 1st and goal.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
One of the beauties of a 3-4 defense is that you have flexibility with your linebackers, and you can put them in different spots. But one of the downsides is an offensive team that's committed to running the football, you can get your big offensive linemen up on linebackers quicker, and that usually gives you an advantage in running it.
And the 8th play on this drive coming up.
All right, now, 1-18, regular. Sally 19, Sally 19.
On second down, here's Palmer. This will be caught at about the 6. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down. Partner, nothing complicated here. This is just a pretty simple drag route.
You're exactly right, Brandon. Instead of throwing it downfield, they just throw it underneath and let the receiver do the work.
They come out here in the eye. They'll run it with Johnson. And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
This complete to Lockett. And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. A great job pulling that one in from a guy, as we know, who can really blaze. He's got a lot of speed.
And that speed can work for him so many different ways. Sometimes he just takes off and goes and just runs past people. Sometimes you get people to back off so far that you can catch everything underneath. But still, at some point in the game, you probably have to make some contested catches, right? Sometimes you have to go up and beat a defender for the football. He has that in his arsenal as well.
Showed it right there. And he motions the wide receiver. Now a play fake here on first down. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Dayon Buchanan. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Now Palmer to throw on second down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 41. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And with a 3rd and 14, we have 6 defensive backs out there now defensively. Now they go screen. It's complete. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Now here's a whistle and a timeout. It's called by the receiving team here. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. Pulled in at the 24. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. When we sat with the coaching staff a couple of days ago, they said attacking that defensive look with a run, something they wanted to do. It was effective.
And they were extremely confident, weren't they? Their planning, their preparation, they knew what they were going to get in that defense, and they were able to attack it accordingly.
Well, he just threw an interception last drive, nearly another pick.
And things aren't very even right now, are they? It's a little bit sloppy out there, isn't it? It's kind of the difference between driving on those paved roads and those country roads that have those potholes in them, isn't it? Because that's the way this game's going right now. A lot of bouncy bounce to it.
You spent some time on some Tennessee country roads.
I certainly have. Plenty of family back there. God love them.
Throwing is Wilson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. You're dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
And the back goes into motion. On third down, Wilson. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
Here's John Ryan now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation, either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Palmer a throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
When it's well executed, a wide receiver screen can often be a thing of beauty, but so many things have to go right in order to complete it. Blocking out in front, timing of the quarterback with the receiver, and oftentimes everything gets set, and guess what? They drop the football.
There they go, play action with Palmer. And his throw here's incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Michael Floyd. Third down here.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
So incomplete on second down. Now they'll look to convert here on third.
Regular, Sally 19, Sally 19, Sally 19, Sally 19, Sally 19, Sally 19.
On third down, Palmer. And he's got Gresham. He's got the lane, and there he goes. Touchdown, Cardinals. Jermaine Gresham as the first half is winding down, and the Cardinals will extend their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Catanzaro now for the extra point. He's got it, and it's 17-0. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Now Wilson on first down. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. It's a gain of 17 that time. And it'll give the Seahawks a first down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. Final play of the half. It's Wilson. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you on to Orlando, we hook back up with Larry Ridley. He's got our EA Sports halftime report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
They'll send Baldwin in motion left. From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. Now it's Peterson. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion.
The best receivers we know always tease their quarterbacks that, hey, no matter what you do, you cannot overthrow me. Well, guess what? That's exactly what happened on that play. Normally, they time it up pretty well, but on that one, he just overshot him.
He's got the hook up to John Brown on the right side. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield across the 45.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. It's complete to Brown, right side. Touchdown, Cardinals. John Brown, his first touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And out now come the Seahawks. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. A little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
No, that wasn't an explosive run. That wasn't one that took it all the way to the house. But, boy, for a team that's had trouble running it the entire game, that's the kind of run they need, hopefully, to get themselves kick-started.
The wide receiver moving to a new spot. Again, they run. Again, it's Procise. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
They go play action here on first down. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Second down now after the incompletion. The slot man in motion right. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Here's Wilson. And his throw is going to be incomplete.
Very difficult night for the guys on offense. They've got to be looking at each other in the huddle and on the sidelines. How are we going to find some open space to complete a pass and find open room to run? This defense all night long has squeezed down the passing lanes, made plays on the football. It's really been a thing of beauty for them. He's got to figure all day long prepping for the game, they had to have talked about it again and again. Squeeze passing lanes, and we'll be in great shape.
On third down, Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good. Now Wilson on first down. They'll lock it with a grab over the middle. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. So on that play, defense was in the zone. They ran a crossing route offensively, but the defense there, you got to be good with communication, don't you?
You certainly do, and it's not something that is really evident when you watch it on the screen. But everyone's talking, communicating, pointing, and it keeps you from chasing receivers because you have a specific zone you have to cover. When a receiver's in your zone and he crosses to another one, you got to let your guy know. They got a completion there, but I like the discipline they showed to stay in their proper areas and then make the tackle.
It's the Pro Bowler Chandler Jones who makes the tackle. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. Lock it in motion right. On second down, Wilson. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And that's the reason why. What we just saw, shedding those tackles, and that's what they're used to doing.
It is, and it starts at the beginning of the play. One-on-one matchup if someone's trying to cover them, but they also like those one-on-ones downfield after the catch when they're running with the ball. They think they're going to win those, too.
And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his second of the game. Instead, 4th down.
Not only did they drop what looked like an interception in the end zone, they blew a golden opportunity to shift the momentum.
Well, I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this third quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. And now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Halfback sent in motion. They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
It takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Well, a well-executed blitz, no doubt. Great job by the linebacker. Maybe the quarterback, if he could have seen that, could have audibled there.
Yeah, he needed to be in a different play because that one just meshed perfectly for the defense. All the gaps were filled except for the one the offense really wanted to run through, and that was filled by a big man wanting to make a tackle.
And he made a great tackle. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. Now Palmer to throw it, and he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Well, it was 2nd and long. Now it's 3rd and even longer. They're going in the wrong direction here.
Because they're moving them exactly the way they want to, but you're exactly right. Definitely going in the wrong direction for the offensive guys.
Keep 15. Keep 15.
A nickel look by Seattle on 3rd down.
Yep, 5 defensive backs now. Now Palmer. It's brought in by Floyd. And 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
Strength throwing the football downfield has never been an issue for this big guy. I still remember the first time I met him. He was playing for USC, and when I got introduced to him, I thought I was meeting their starting tight end, not their starting quarterback.
David Johnson on his way. He's at the 30. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson, 77 yards. And the Cards continue to pour it on. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And they had a nice little drive going last time. Threw the interception in the red zone. Costly.
Bad enough to throw it anywhere, but that drives coaches insane when they're thinking about, hey, we got a shot at points already. We're already in a spot where you're thinking you got 3 on the board for sure, and to come away with nothing, that's a really tough one for them to swallow.
Yeah, will they make up for it? So the D-line's going to spread out. Play clock winding down. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. So the incomplete pass brings up second down. They'll send a receiver here in motion right. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. He's got time. Being chased out left. 15 yards there on the scramble and a first down.
But one thing that's confirmed is that Russell Wilson knows how to elude pressure, and he finds openings to throw the ball, and he does the same thing in running it. He lost about 300 yards from last season in his rushing total, but I think that's a good thing. People respect his running ability so much, it's opening up pass lanes for his team.
We got three. Check. Motion out of backfield.
On first down, Wilson. He's going to loft one deep left side here. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Wilson going to hand it to Procise. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
And the wideout in motion. Now a play fake here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Marcus Golden in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year. On second down, here's Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Tony Jefferson. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. So after the interception, here's Palmer. He's got the hook up to John Brown on the right side. Touchdown, Cardinals! John Brown with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Cardinals add on.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. Set to return now. Here's Deontay Thompson. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep left sideline. Tyler Lockett was the target there, and that'll bring up second down.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Now on the run, he'll throw it back deep over the middle. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a fourth pick. And it's third down. On third down, Wilson. He's going to try and go deep again. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a fourth pick of the game. And now fourth down. Here's John Ryan now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And how about this, a fake? And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It's a big play that time on the fake punt. And they're able to move the chains as they convert on fourth and long. In motion, right, Baldwin. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Time running out here on the play clock. Now Wilson on first down. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Obviously, this has not been a banner game throwing the football. So what you got to do, you got to kind of down focus, don't you think? Find the tight end, take some easier completions.
Yeah, interception last drive. There he hits the reliable target.
36 pounds. Watch the shift. Watch the shift. Hey, watch the shift. Watch the shift.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And incomplete.
Whenever they're trying to attack a zone defense, you're trying to figure out where your gaps are going to be. And depending on what type of zone they're playing, it could be on the outside, it could be in the middle, it could be in the seams, in the edges. In this case, they tried to attack the middle of the field, but this zone defense didn't allow it because they were able to see the ball.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Marcus Golden in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Seventh play of this drive coming up, and a long way to go on third down. And he motions the wide receiver. Third and long, it's Wilson. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Their dangerous wide receiver with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Seahawks are able to get a score back.
Here we go. Hey, easy. Bang. 14. Show me that. Hey, check right here. Fresno.
Now they bring a receiver in motion right.
Whip.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Wilson going to throw for it. And no, it falls incomplete. So the two-point conversion, no good. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
Yeah, that wasn't a big run, just a short one there. But guess what? Sometimes you treat it like boxing. You throw that jab out there, and you throw it again, then you come with a big punch later. Maybe they're just trying to set him up.
Second down, 8.
Check three. Here we go. Blue 58.
On second down, here's Palmer. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. That catch good for 5. It's third down. Completed pass on second down. Now it's third down as the defense looks for the stop.
Get ready.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a fourth down. Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
Regular. Sally 19. Sally 19. Sally 19. Sally 19. Let's go.
They run. It's Johnson. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. It'll be a 3-yard gain. And on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground.
Sally, mirror.
They'll throw on first down here with Palmer. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowl safety Cam Chancellor. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Now they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. After the interception, here's Wilson. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Play action. Now Wilson. Flush to his right. And some space here. And he's out of bounds right at the 25. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Now Wilson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
It's always tough trying to keep your guy upright when he's trying to throw the football. When you're dealing with those big, bad guys on the defensive front, it's even tougher. And this time, those guys on the opposite side won the battle, getting to the quarterback and knocking him into an incompletion.
Second and 10 now. Wilson forced out to his left. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 6 yards on the pickup, and it'll be third down. And the offense moving quickly to the line.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
From the gun on third down, Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he takes it down deep into Arizona territory. It's a big hook up there. Wilson to Baldwin. 53 yards. And they're going to speed things up here. The wide receiver moving to a new spot. They go play action here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Slants are so tough to cover because everything
Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. And he goes in motion here in the backfield. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Wilson. And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it.
He has his 2 scores, but still a sizable deficit in this game.
Do you have him in fantasy football this week?
Unfortunately, no.
It's too bad, right? That would have been big points, but he is really trying to rally his team as best he can. Things are not going as well the rest of the way for them. That's why they're down with this deficit. He might need to score a couple of more times to give them a chance.
14.
They'll run it. This is Pro-Size. And he will get in for the 2 points to get this back to a 3-score game. Only had a couple of yards to gain there on the 2-point conversion, and they were able to do it.
And how many teams shy away from running the football in the 2-point conversion? They treat 2 yards as if it were 20. If you're a good team running the ball, go to your strength. Go ahead and push it into the end zone.
Yeah, they did. It worked. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. Time for a break. This one all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Throwing now, Palmer. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Mike Morgan in there to get him for a loss of 5. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Oh, Palmer looking to throw. Flushed out right. He's going to let this go deep. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning, right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
To return, this is Doug Baldwin. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
But when it comes to Patrick Peterson, it does not matter where the Pro Bowl is being played. It doesn't matter whether it's Hawaii or the site of the Super Bowl. He's going to be selected for that game. He's into his 6th year now, a Pro Bowler in his previous 5, but he's gotten better in the last couple of years. Gotten his weight down, understands receivers even better than before, and plays with a great joy and physicality that all comes together and makes it a hard day for receivers to run patterns against him.
And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. Defense has set themselves up nicely. 3rd and 10 now. They go play action now. Wilson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go. It's Wilson on 4th down. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. They take over with great field position. They've got the big lead. Most would say they should kneel it, but the key word there is should. You never know here.
You never know. That's the exact play that should happen. But some people like stats. Some people like to put more things up on the board, but kneel down is usually the right play here.
We'll see what they do in this situation. Surveying the field. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
How many times when we see an incomplete pass, we just look at the receiver and say, should have caught that one. That was a drop, and we just put it on the offense. How about a little credit for the defense there? They just forced an incompletion.
Yeah, especially after starting in a tough spot defensively, but a good start there on 1st down.
That'll give them a little extra confidence there, starting, as you said, in a tough spot and being able to make a play on 1st down.
To throw is Palmer. Fitzgerald bringing it in over the middle. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal. Well, he flew past 200, 300, 400 yards. Now he's over 450 yards passing on the day.
So what you're saying is oxygen for everyone catching the ball and trying to defend?
Yeah, especially those guys trying to defend right now.
No doubt. They've got to be a confused group because they haven't been able to defend him very well at all. And I think he just wants to keep firing. When you have that kind of a day, you're just locked in. Just keep calling those pass plays.
Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Brown, the lone receiver, left. Palmer apparently wants to throw it. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Now Wilson on 1st down, escaping the pressure right. Now a desperation throw deep. And got his man complete. It's a big play there for Seattle. 47 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Mike 20, Mike 20, Mike 20. 19.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Tyvon Branch. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
So 2nd and 10 here.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending the guy down.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowl cornerback, Richard Sherman. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually look.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Show me what you like. Hey, I put money, I can match it for ya. I'm in this in all white fit, looking like a brick and all them zippers on a jacket on ya. He got a thing for a Latin. He wanna hear a little Spanish? I told him it ain't practice it. I'm about to fill you up with status. Rock with the click and I ain't looking like the side in this. I'm the opposite cause I'm the main event in boxing and it has the time been ticking. I've been out here playing my position. I'm about to get it now. Ain't no one about to block the hit cause someday I'm gonna want someone to tell me I'm someone